Welcome back, everybody, to the Chicago VMUG. My name is Josh Atwell. I'm really excited to be here right now with a few of the folks involved with Virtual Design Master. We got a couple of judges and a couple of the contestants from this past season. For those of you not familiar with Virtual Design Master, it's an online competition focused around virtualization data center design, where the competitors work every week to solve a problem in the design, deliver it, and then they're judged based on those designs. Now, I'm not going to go much deeper into it because we've got the people that have lived it and have been involved with it. We're going to let them talk. So I'll start with Sean, because Sean, you wanted to put this together. As we go to each one of you, introduce yourself and let us know what you did with Virtual Design Master and why you did it. Let's kind of talk about that a little bit. So, okay. Sean, I'll kick it over to you, buddy.
Hi, I'm Sean Massey. I got involved in Virtual Design Master because it was one of the areas that I hadn't had a lot of experience with before. You know, prior to joining the competition, I had never done a formal design, and one of my career goals is to eventually be a VCDX. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to see, what's the design process like? Is this something that, I can do? And, while I'm at it, why not do it in the most high-pressure situation I can think of? And get more involved in the community at the same time.
Great.
My name's Jeff Wilmington. Got involved with the Virtual Design Master by following around Eric Wright on Twitter. He's been the major, him and Angelo have been the major people that's been putting it out there. So it seemed like a great competition. Watched the last year's competition on the videos, and it seemed like a great way to. I had done one design in my career, and I hadn't had a lot of peer feedback on it, so it was kind of wanted to get involved in the community and see if the things that I had been coming up with from a design perspective were, things that my peers were, coming back with and saying that those are things that you're on the right track or things like that. So it was really good to get into high pressure situations like Sean said, and put out the best work you can as quickly as you can, and then and get some feedback from some just some great people that you just wouldn't normally may not normally get access to in the community. It was a really great experience.
Hi, I'm Byron Schaller. I do design for a living, at least I used to. Now I'm more of an R&D role, but I'm actually pursuing my VCDX right now and started the whole Virtual Design Master journey, I guess, through Twitter as well, mainly through following Jonathan Frappier and Eric, and they convinced me to sign up, and was really glad I did. There's not a lot of stuff out there when you're really doing some of the more complex data center design. It's all proprietary, it's all IP. There's nothing online where you can go and look at other people's designs to say how did they do it, formatting, all kinds of really logistical things that you don't understand or think about unless you do it on a day-to-day basis. And VDM became a really good repository for all the information for the community as a whole, and me personally, that I could really validate what people are doing, what's the right way, what's kind of the best practice on how you put together a poll design. And that was, I think, the best part for me.
All right, Brian, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Brian Kirsch. I was actually one of the judges for this year's competition. So it was great to see just amazing designs by all of the competitors, and truly the challenge of thinking outside the box. To everyone's point, there's very little information out there on how to do things correctly and how to do things as a best practice, because it's varied by each business. And the challenges really took the competitors to the edges. Things of challenges in space restrictions, power, everything, things that are in the real world we come up against every day, and these guys were doing it in short time frames, very little sleep, and creating amazing designs that were just incredible to see. Very excellent work.
Yeah, I have to agree. As a judge, I was a judge for the first season and for this season, and I have to mention that Melissa Palmer is just the things that she comes up with as challenges for these guys are both very directly related to the types of things that people come across when dealing with environments. So I want to take a moment now to ask the three competitors, in less than a minute, what was the most challenging task or the most challenging design requirement or constraint that that you think you had to tackle this past season?
Nested VMs with one physical NIC on the host, by far. That and cramming everything that you need for a vCloud deployment into 16 gigs of RAM. That was tough too.
Yeah, that one was really interesting trying to see that, because those who are watching may not be aware. You guys got a live environment towards the very end where you had to actually implement part of that design. So Jeff, I'm sure that played a lot into what your biggest challenge or task was.
Yeah, I think going back and looking at all the challenges, I think even the first challenge was still fairly difficult, because even the open-endedness with having unlimited access to anything that you wanted is really a double-edged sword when you really think about it, because it's great to have all the money in the world to be able to buy whatever hardware you want. However, if it doesn't meet the requirements or the constraints to in the design, then it's really just technology that you're really not applying to anything. So that was probably one of the harder ones. And then obviously, as we got to the POC phase, that was in having to learn OpenStack.
In a day.
In basically a day, with changing diapers and doing other things that everyone had to do. I mean, it was. I think I'm still tired from having to do that.
So I'm going to pull Angela. I'm going to have to cut you off there. Your time's up.
I was done.
Again, for people who didn't see this past season, Angelo Luciani and Eric Wright, they run the program. Their creative director is Melissa Palmer. And one of the things is these guys, when they get onto delivery night and are presenting to the judges and to the world, you only get 1 minute to present. Now, Sean, I don't want to take away your opportunity to talk about your biggest task, but I would love to hear your thoughts about that 1 minute and that impact.
Well, and I was actually going to say that 1 minute was one of the big challenges, because you have this design that you spent, 3 days researching and assembling. It's, upwards of 15 to 30 pages long with, Visio diagrams if you had time to do it. You have to condense that whole thing down into a 1 minute elevator speech before you start getting grilled by Brian, Josh, and other people like Josh Odgers, Mayish, and having to defend that design. So that 1 minute elevator speech, condensing it down, trying to pull out those key points was actually one of the big challenges of it.
Yeah, I distinctly recall we had one night where the decisions were made. Well, I used blade servers. Well, why did you use blade servers? You got single points of failure, this and that. And then the next person said, well, I did rack mount servers. Well, why did you do that? You can't get the density. So it was almost like a no-win situation either way. But I have to say, from my perspective, I thought all of the contestants handled all of that very well. And so Brian, I want to go to you, because at some point we have to stop with this discussion. So anybody that's watching now that's intrigued by Virtual Design Master and that might want in the community to participate next year, what types of things would you say that the judges and the group is looking for people who want to participate?
One of the biggest challenges is thinking outside the box. The challenges that Melissa and the creative team, everyone put together, are based in the real world, but they're going to stretch what you think you know how to do. They're going to take it 3 steps beyond, and all of the challenges rose to that occasion. But it is taking the common solutions, everything that everybody says works on paper, and these guys had to actually make it work, but then go beyond that. And it's thinking outside that box, and it's stretching what you know how to do, and that gives you that ability to design any type of solution. That's the challenge with this. And that's the amazing part of it, is getting people to grow and learn.
All right, so a last question is filled for everybody, so it's going to be your initial gut response. Did you know everything that you needed to know when you went into Virtual Design Master?
No.
Technically no, but the thing is really it comes down to constraints and risk and requirements. If you understand that, you have what you need. The tech is the easy part, but it's understanding how to really do constraints and requirements. That's what you really have to come to the table with.
Yeah. And so the last thing I want to know, was it worth it? Would you do it again?
Yes.
And has it really benefited you, since that? Because it's only been, 2 months? But I think there's been a lot of growth in all the competitors since then.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, so you heard it here from the Chicago VMUG. We've got both competitors and judges from Virtual Design Master. Make sure you check it out. VDM Challenge on Twitter, virtualdesignmaster.com. Season 3 should be coming, I believe, in the spring. I don't have details on it, but knowing Melissa, Angelo, Jonathan, and Eric, it's probably going to be another epic, crazy adventure. You know, we went to Mars this past season to get away from zombies. I can only imagine what we're going to be doing next season. Guys, thanks a lot for coming out. Thanks for getting together at the Chicago VMUG. It's been great seeing you guys in person. And to people out in the community, hopefully you'll participate next year. Thanks a lot.